Today we're working on a 2013 GMC truck. It's been debadged. I think it's a Sierra. The problem with it is the ignition lock. Damn key won't turn. So we're gonna fix that. First thing we need to remove is the cover for the fuse box over here. Let me say, this isn't my truck. I don't own anything this new, and I wouldn't do this. Very dangerous. We're gonna address that too. Next, we're gonna take off the cover under the dash here. It's got 2 Phillips screws and a 10mm. The next thing we need to do is remove the handle to adjust the steering column. It pulls out. I already popped it loose, so it comes out pretty easy. I just use this little pry tool to get it out of there. Here comes another car. The next step is to remove this plastic around the steering column. Some people say that there's screws in the bottom. This doesn't have any screws. I don't know if they've been removed before or whatever. So we'll just pop this loose real quick. Okay, we got the cover off. Here's what we're getting to. Now I should probably mention to unhook the battery, because you gotta turn the key all the way to start to pull the lock cylinder out. I have seen some people throw it into drive. That way the neutral safety switch keeps it from starting. I guess if you're in a hurry, that's a good way to do it. Okay, the next step is we're going to turn the key, or try to turn the key. It might take 5 minutes in this thing. There's a little hole. You see that right there? And we're going to put something down in there. I got a nail, I think that'll work. And push the little spring down. Then we can pull the lock cylinder out. So I'm going to do that next. I'm going to have to do this for like 5 minutes to get it to turn, but you want to time this? Honestly, I don't have the space on my SD card for all of that, so we'll just skip to that part. Took a couple of minutes, but I finally got the key to turn. I was able to turn the steering wheel, so now you get a better view of it. Okay, got this nail right here. I put it down in this hole. See if I can do this with you watching. Okay, now I'm going to turn the key to start, and then I'll push the nail down. Feel something happening. There we go. There's the lock cylinder. Now we'll take that back to the garage and I'll show you what we're going to do to fix this. We're going to use the old Willie's Jeep as a workbench today. Work on this lock cylinder. Here's the new part, got it from AutoZone. There's part number. We'll unbox that, show you what we got going on. Okay, there's the old lock cylinder. In this box we have directions. New lock cylinder. Some kind of grease. Springs. And a bunch of different slugs. What we're going to do is pull the slugs out of this lock cylinder and match them up and put them into that lock cylinder. And they are numbered. So we'll look at them and we'll check the numbers and so on and so forth. Go ahead and pull this key out. I think I'll wipe this thing down real quick. Okay, I got some of the crud off of here. what I want to do is remove, I'm going to do these one at a time. So I'm going to start with this one, first one, work my way back. There's some on each side. So we're going to go in with a little screwdriver, push that out, see it there? Go ahead and take that out. Looks like I'm going to have to wipe that off good too. There's that piece. Looks like it's a number 2. I don't know if you can see that. So I'll find that piece and I'll put it in the new one. Before you put it in there, you want to put the spring in. The spring goes in this bigger spot right here. I don't know if you can see that. Do that, and then put the slug in. I'm gonna use a little lube while I assemble it. Use the little bit of lube while I assemble it. So everything works freely and should keep it working for a long time. So I'm gonna go, I got 5 bags of slugs. So I'll look through those, figure it out, I guess, and get this new one all put together, pop it back in the truck. Hopefully it works great. Bring it back after I get it all put back together. Okay, now that I've had a chance to open everything up, I noticed that each bag is a number. It goes 1 through 5. So I must reuse some numbers in this lock cylinder. Figure that out as we go. Here's a number 2. Here's the one that was in there. Here's the new one that I'm putting in there. You can see all the edges are square. It's a rectangle shape. Here's the old one. If you see right over here, where am I? Right over here, it's wore out, and that's what we're fixing. Key has just wore that out, and now it's not pushing it as far as it's supposed to. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop this all back together. I'll bring you back in. Okay, I'm down to the last one. Thought I'd do this one right in front of you so you know what's going on. This one is a number 1. Here's the one I took out of it. It's probably one of the worst slugs I've seen. I don't know if you can see how wore that is, but junk. First thing I'm going to do is take this grease. I'm going to shove some of that right in the hole. They're greased up. I can get a hold of one spring. Alright, got the spring. I'm going to stick the spring in the bigger part right here. Push that down. It's in there. Slide the tumbler. That little hook piece goes over the spring. Slide it down in there. You want it to click in. That's all the way in. It hasn't clicked yet. There it goes. You're all in. Try the key out. Well, that seems to work so far. I'll have to put it in the truck to test it for sure. And a few of the springs left over and a bunch of the slugs. Enough to redo this again. So I'll just put those and the old one back in the box, and if whoever wants to switch it out real quick, that'd be the way to do it. So I guess we'll go back out to the truck, pop that in. I'm gonna go ahead and grease everything up real good too. Hopefully it works. I also wrote down the number of the slugs as I took them out, so I have it all in order, so it'll make it easy to reuse the old lock cylinder and put the things in, have it ready to go. I just cleaned a bunch of the old grease out of here, kind of basted this with some of that grease. Well, let's see how it fits in there. Goes right in. Whoa, like butter. I don't know how long he was driving it like that, but he's gonna love this. Works great. Might even tell him to get a new key, just because this one's kind of wore down. Probably work even better, but there we go. So nice. Wish I could just start it up right now, but have the battery out of it. We'll go over that real quick as soon as I get this put back together. Alright, gonna put the last piece on. Just want to say about these wires, don't do that. I believe one of these goes directly to the battery. If that gets pinched, shorts out, could burn the whole thing to the ground. So when I put the battery back in it, I'm gonna cut that wire and add a fuse in there, so at least it has something, so it has some kind of fuse to blow instead of burning everything down. It'll make it a little safer anyways. Alright, back in the garage. Let's talk about this battery. It's only a few years old, but it's not holding a charge. It was dead the other day and I charged it, and every day since then I've been testing it, and I see that the voltage is slowly dropping every day. So we're going to try to revive this battery, bring it back to life. Alrighty, popped the cap off of it. This cell here is a little low, so we're going to fill that up with some distilled water. Go ahead and top off the other ones. After we do that, I'm going to charge it. I'm going to use this big charger here. It's got 220 amp start for 12 volt. What I'm going to do, I believe they call it desulfating the battery. You're removing lead sulfate. If you want to look into it with more detail, Sweet Project Cars has a pretty good video on it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to run it on this. We're going to cycle it. We're going to go 15 minutes charge, 45 minutes rest, 15 minutes charge, 45 minutes rest, 15 minutes charge, and then let it rest. And that'll boil all the stuff in the battery and it'll smoke and all kinds of stuff, and it'll get a bunch of that crap out of there. Problem is you get a buildup in your battery. When it's charging and discharging, stuff's moving through there, and that stuff will start to connect to each other, and it can short out your battery. It'll short out one of the cells. So we try to clean that crap out of there, bring this thing back to life. I'm going to go ahead and set up everything on the charger, do it. I've done this on a few batteries. Some it works, some it doesn't. Depends on how bad the battery is. I think this one will turn out just fine. Alright, I got the battery hooked up to the charger. I did fill these up. When I mean fill, not to the top, but to the bottom of the plastic part. I'm going to turn the charger on. It'll start with a bunch of little tiny bubbles in there, and eventually it'll look like it's boiling. Some batteries are just nasty. I had one a couple years ago that I did, and it was spitting crap out all over the place. I don't think this one's going to be that bad. I'll go ahead and get the charger going on it. Hopefully it fixes it. Okay, you can see that the battery's bubbling. Every once in a while, let a little smoke out. That's what you want. Well, if today's video was helpful or entertaining, or if you even made it this far, could you maybe hit the like button? And also, that old Willie's Jeep project should be a video next week. That should be a fun project. You might want to subscribe so you don't miss out on that. Alright, well, thanks for watching. Have a good day.